Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the history of Fortnite's biggest live events from the early days to where we are in 2024. Whether you've been here since the beginning or just jumped into the game recently, these live events have shaped Fortnite into what it is today. So let's break down how these events have evolved and look at the insane moments that made Fortnite so legendary. Fortnite's very first major live event was the rocket launch in Season 4. At the time, no one had ever seen anything like this in a Battle Royale game. As the clock hit the event time, players across the map watched as a rocket took off from the villain's lair. Everyone thought it would just fly into space, but things took a wild turn when the rocket started teleporting around the sky, creating giant cracks in the atmosphere. What made this event so unique was the fact that it was entirely live, and everyone who was playing at that moment got to see it in real time. It felt like the Fortnite world was actually alive, with things happening beyond just the Battle Royale gameplay. Those cracks in the sky weren't just for show either. They played a huge role in changing the island over the next few seasons. This event set the stage for how Epic Games would handle future live events. It was clear that they wanted to make these moments must-see experiences, and the rocket launch was the perfect start. Everyone who witnessed it still talks about it to this day as the moment when Fortnite became more than just a game. It became a living, evolving world. Season 5 introduced the mysterious cube, affectionately named Kevin by the community. This glowing purple cube appeared seemingly out of nowhere and started moving across the map, leaving strange runes and bouncing players who touched it. For weeks, players were left guessing its purpose, and its slow journey became a spectacle in itself. As Season 6 progressed, the cube eventually reached Loot Lake, dissolving into the water and turning it into a bouncy purple surface. But that wasn't the end. The real payoff came during the Butterfly event, Fortnite's most magical and serene live event to date. Players were lifted into the sky, transported to a strange ethereal realm. In this otherworldly space, they encountered a floating butterfly before being brought back to a new Loot Lake. The Butterfly event was unlike anything players had seen before. It wasn't about destruction or chaos, it was a peaceful, almost spiritual moment. The visual spectacle left players in awe, and it demonstrated that not all Fortnite events had to be about battle and conflict. Sometimes it was about creating a shared experience, a moment of wonder. The cube's journey and the Butterfly event left a lasting impression on the Fortnite community. It proved that live events could be multi-stage with long build-ups and unexpected payoffs. The narrative complexity of Kevin the Cube combined with the serene beauty of the Butterfly event made this chapter in Fortnite history unforgettable. This event also introduced the idea that Fortnite was more than just a game. It was a platform for interactive experiences where players could come together to witness history being made. In Season 7, Fortnite took a frosty turn. The map was covered in snow and players were introduced to the Ice King, a formidable new figure who had taken residence in Polar Peak. For weeks, players saw hints that something big was coming, especially with the giant ice sphere that hovered above the map when the live event finally kicked off. The Ice King broke free from his icy throne, summoning a massive storm that enveloped the entire map. In a matter of moments, the entire island was plunged into a blizzard, creating a new challenge for players as visibility dropped to near zero. The Ice Storm event was a game changer, both in terms of gameplay and aesthetics. The entire island was transformed and players had to adapt to the harsh new conditions. But more than that, the event introduced new enemies. The Ice Fiends are controlled monsters that attacked players during the storm. This was the first time a Fortnite live event directly affected gameplay in such a major way. It wasn't just about watching something cool happen to players had to survive in the new, snowy environment while fighting off enemies. The Ice Storm event proved that live events could alter not just the map, but the entire gameplay experience. The Ice Kings event also reinforced the importance of seasonal storytelling. Each event wasn't just a random occurrence, it was tied into the ongoing narrative of Fortnite's world, making the game feel alive and ever-evolving. The next major live event took place in Season 8 with the Unvaulting event. This one stood out for its player-driven interaction, allowing players to collectively decide which item from Fortnite's vault would return to the game. But that wasn't the only spectacle. The event also featured the destruction of beloved locations, all triggered by an erupting volcano. It all started when players gathered at Loot Lake, where a strange vault appeared. When the event began, players were transported into the vault itself, where they were given the power to choose which item would return to the game. Players struck at various vaults containing iconic items like the drum gun and the infinity blade. Ultimately, the drum gun was chosen and made its triumphant return to the game. But the event didn't end there. As players were brought back to the surface, the nearby volcano erupted, launching lava and debris across the map. Iconic locations like Retail Row and Tilted Towers were devastated in real time as players watched the destruction unfold. The combination of player choice and environmental destruction made the Unvaulting event a thrilling and unpredictable experience. This was the first time Fortnite allowed the player base to directly influence the game's future in such a massive way. The interactive element of the Unvaulting gave players a sense of agency in the unfolding narrative, adding a new layer of engagement to live events. It wasn't just about watching something happen, it was about making decisions that would affect the entire player base. The destruction of Tilted Towers in particular left a lasting impact. Tilted had been a fan favorite landing spot since its introduction, and seeing it destroyed marked the end of an era for many players. The volcano's eruption also introduced new gameplay mechanics as lava became a permanent hazard on the map for the remainder of the season. Season 9 brought one of the most action-packed and visually stunning live events to date. The final showdown between the giant mecha robot and the massive Polar Peak monster. The event was pure spectacle, inspired by classic kaiju battles, with players watching from the sidelines as two titanic forces clashed in a battle for the island. The build-up to this event was significant. Players had been speculating about the giant robot being built a pressure plant for weeks, while the monster had been lurking around the map after breaking free from Polar Peak. When the event finally started, the entire player base watched in awe as the two massive creatures fought across the island. The robot, decked out in colourful Fortnite-themed armour, launched into battle against the monster, which had taken the form of a gigantic, terrifying dinosaur-like creature. The fight spanned multiple locations on the map, with the robot firing rockets, using a sword, and even losing an arm in the process. The monster fought back fiercely, wreaking havoc across the island. The climax of the event came when the robot pulled a sword from Mio Tilted, impaling the monster and emerging victorious. After the fight, the robot launched itself into space, leaving behind a new futuristic location and a massive sword stuck in the ground, which remained as a landmark. The final showdown was a spectacle in every sense of the word. It combined elements of a massive monster movie with Fortnite's unique aesthetic, creating a thrilling experience for players. The event also pushed the boundaries of what was possible in terms of in-game visuals and choreography, setting a new standard for live events. Perhaps the most iconic live event in Fortnite's history was the end, which concluded Chapter 2, Season X. The name says it all. This was the moment when Fortnite's first chapter came to a close in the most dramatic fashion possible. Players witnessed the island being consumed by a massive black hole, leading to the most ambitious and shocking event Epic Games had ever attempted. The lead up to the Ender was filled with tension. Players knew something big was coming when the 0 point at Loot Lake started destabilizing. When the event finally began, a series of rockets launched across the map, colliding with the 0 point. As the energy built up, a massive explosion occurred and the island started to collapse. What happened next was truly unexpected. The entire Fortnite map was sucked into a massive black hole, leaving nothing but darkness. Players were left staring at the black hole for hours with no idea of what would happen next. Fortnite was effectively offline, leaving millions of players worldwide in suspense. The black hole event was a game changer, not just for Fortnite, but for live gaming events in general. It was bold, ambitious, and risky. Fortnite went dark for nearly 2 days, during which players were left with no access to the game. The event became a global phenomenon, with millions of people tuning in just to watch the black hole. When Fortnite finally returned, it was with a brand new map and the start of Chapter 2. The Ender was more than just an event, it was a complete reset for the game, signaling a new chapter in Fortnite's history. The black hole became an iconic symbol in gaming, showing that Fortnite was willing to take massive risks to deliver unforgettable experiences. The device event, also known as the Doomsday event, took place at the end of Chapter 2, Season 2. It centered around Midas, one of the key characters in the Fortnite storyline, and his master plan to push back the storm using a mysterious device he had been constructing throughout the season. The build-up to this event was intense, with players constantly speculating about what Midas' machine could do and what effect it would have on the island. As the event began, players were summoned to various agency locations on the map, all centering around the massive structure known as the agency where Midas had been building his device. When the event kicked off, the device, which was hidden underneath the agency, rose up from the ground and unleashed a powerful energy beam into the sky. It was immediately clear that this was no ordinary event. The device was attempting to control the storm itself. The device pulsed with energy, sending out waves that temporarily pushed the storm back. But things quickly escalated as the storm fought back against Midas' machine. Players were thrown into the air, hovering over the island as they watched the storm and the device clash. The visuals were stunning, with lightning strikes, energy surges, and a constant push and pull between the storm and the device. It became clear that Midas was trying to alter the very nature of the storm, an unprecedented feat in Fortnite's history. For the first time, players were also transported out of the Fortnite world, brought into a strange office-like environment that looked nothing like the game's familiar landscapes. This brief interlude hinted at a deeper lore, suggesting that Fortnite's island might be part of a simulation, controlled or observed by unknown forces. It was a shocking twist, leaving players with more questions than answers. As the device continued to pulse, it seemed like Midas had succeeded in controlling the storm. But then everything went wrong. The storm returned with a vengeance, and instead of pushing it back, the device seemed to have only made it stronger. The island was engulfed in a massive storm surge, flooding much of the map and introducing a new element of gameplay for the remaining days of the season. The flooding of the island was a major change. Suddenly, water levels rose and areas of the map were submerged, creating new gameplay challenges as players had to adapt to the watery environment. This transformation was one of the most drastic changes ever seen in a live event, affecting not just the narrative, but the core mechanics of the game. The device event showed Epic Games' growing ambition in terms of live event design. It combined real-time map changes, narrative twists, and hints at a larger story unfolding behind the scenes. The event also set up the next phase of Fortnite's ongoing storyline, particularly with the introduction of a flooded island, which would play a key role in the following season. Finally, the mysterious office scenes, which seemed to suggest that the Fortnite world was being controlled or monitored, opened up new possibilities for the game's lore. It was a moment that sparked endless speculation and discussion among the player base, cementing the device event as one of the most memorable in Fortnite history.
unstable over here. We are... Janice, dial the resonance actuator to 7.2. Now, please. Yes, right now.
I'm on it.
Wait. Hold on. It's not just a storm. What does that mean? Must be connected to the loop. There's no way we could have predicted that it would react this way. At this point. And that worked? How long do you think it'll hold? Good. Everything is, starting to stabilize here. Nothing seems to be... What the... How are you even... Wait. Can you hear me? Hear me?
Fortnite's crossover with Marvel culminated in one of the most anticipated events in the game's history, the Galactus event, also known as the Devourer of Worlds. Season 4 had been themed around Marvel superheroes, with characters like Iron Man, Thor and Wolverine joining the game's roster. The season's storyline revolved around the looming threat of Galactus, the World Eater, who was slowly approaching the island. The build-up for this event was months in the making, with players able to see Galactus growing larger in the sky as each day passed. When the event finally began, players were placed on a massive battle bus, custom-made by Tony Stark, hovering over the island as Galactus rose from the ocean. His sheer size was overwhelming, dwarfing the island and everything on it. As he loomed closer, he reached out and swatted away the helicarrier that players had been standing on, signifying the start of the battle. The Galactus' plan was to absorb the 0 point, the energy source that has been at the center of Fortnite's storyline for several seasons. As he reached towards the island to extract the 0 point, it became clear that this was an event of catastrophic proportions. Players were tasked with piloting their own battle buses, each armed with powerful lasers, in a desperate attempt to stop the World Eater from destroying everything. What followed was a Star Wars-esque space battle, with players flying their battle buses directly into Galactus' army of drones. The gameplay was an unexpected twist, transforming Fortnite into a high-speed, on-rails shooter for the duration of the event. This kind of interactive element had never been seen before in a live event, and it made the battle feel personal. Players weren't just watching the action unfold, they were a part of it. The battle raged on as players fought to keep Galactus at bay. Eventually, with the help of the Marvel heroes, players managed to overload the battle buses, sending them straight into Galactus. In a massive explosion, the Galactus was pushed away from the island, disappearing into the depths of space. The island was saved, but it was clear that the story was far from over. This event was not only visually stunning, but also marked a major milestone in Fortnite's crossover events. The scale of the battle, the involvement of iconic Marvel characters, and the interactive gameplay all contributed to making the Galactus event one of the most ambitious live events Epic Games had ever created. The Galactus event also pushed the boundaries of what a live event could be. It wasn't just a passive experience where players watched the story unfold. This time, players were active participants in the battle, making the event feel more immersive and engaging than ever before. By the end of the event, players were left with a cliffhanger. The island had been saved, but the consequences of the battle with Galactus were still unknown. As the event ended, the screen cut to black and players were once again left with that familiar sense of anticipation, wondering what would come next in the ever-evolving world of Fortnite.
Had some laughs, right? Either way, you did good.
Is not possible.
driver.
Operation Skyfire was the grand finale to Chapter 2, Season 7, and it took players deep into the heart of the alien mothership that had been hovering ominously over the island for much of the season. This event was all about espionage, sabotage, and a daring infiltration mission that felt like something straight out of a blockbuster movie. The stakes were high and players knew that this was going to be an explosive conclusion to the alien invasion storyline. The event began with players being recruited by Dr. Sloan, the leader of the Imagined Order, who had been working behind the scenes to take down the alien forces. Players were teleported aboard the alien mothership where they were tasked with planting explosives in key locations to destroy it from the inside. The sense of scale was immediately apparent. Everything aboard the mothership was massive, from the alien architecture to the giant floating cubes. As players moved through the ship, they encountered various alien defenses and obstacles, adding tension and excitement to the mission. The environment was visually stunning, with eerie alien lighting and strange otherworldly designs that made the mothership feel truly alien. The pacing of the event was perfect, with moments of quiet tension followed by sudden bursts of action as players navigated their way through the ship. Midway through the event, things took a surprising turn. Players discovered the presence of the mysterious purple cube from Chapter 1, which had long been a symbol of Fortnite's deeper lore. This cube, known as Kevin to the community, had been thought destroyed, but here it was lying dormant inside the mothership. The revelation that the cube was tied to the alien invasion added a new layer of mystery and excitement to the event. Dr. Sloan's plan appeared to be going smoothly, but in typical Fortnite fashion, things quickly went awry as the explosives were armed. The aliens detected the sabotage and players were forced to make a desperate escape. The tension ramped up as alarms blared and the countdown to the mothership's destruction began. In the final moments of the event, players were thrown into chaos as the mothership began to disintegrate. Explosions rocked the ship as it started to fall apart, and players were sent tumbling through the air, witnessing the destruction from a variety of perspectives. The visuals were breathtaking, with fiery debris raining down over the island, creating a sense of cinematic grandeur that few live events had managed to capture. The mothership eventually crashed into the island, causing widespread destruction and setting the stage for the changes that would come in Season 8. The aftermath of Operation Skyfire left a lasting impact on the game, with large portions of the map altered by the debris from the mothership's crash. Operation Skyfire was one of Fortnite's most cinematic and action-packed live events, combining high-stakes espionage with explosive action. The revelation of Kevin the Cube, the destruction of the mothership, and the island's transformation made this event a memorable conclusion to the alien invasion storyline, while also hinting at the darker forces at play in the world of Fortnite.
These aren't intended for organics. Let's hope that's not an issue. You seem to be safe. For now, stay alert. There should be another transport tube ahead. Looks like I'll have to reverse the airflow. Give me a moment. Okay, hold on. Just need to... Okay, and then... And done! Get in the tubes! This will take you right to the abduction chamber. Oh good, the bombs are in place. ready on my end. You keep those backpacks near the bombs. Okay, I'm gonna start the arming sequence. Wait, what's happening? The signal was cut off. I'll figure this out. Just stay alive. This is impossible. We thought it was gone for good. Last time it nearly destroyed the island. Sequence is good. Almost there. And we're done. You played your part. Now I have to play mine. We are fighting a war in which we are hopelessly outgunned. I won't bring you home. Not if there is a chance that thing can make it back to the island. Over and out.
The Ender event of Chapter 2, Season 8 was one of the most highly anticipated live events in Fortnite's history, as it marked the conclusion of Chapter 2 and ushered in the third chapter of the game. Much like its predecessor, the Ender event from Chapter 1, this event promised a cataclysmic shift in Fortnite's world. The build-up to this event was massive, with the story of the Cube Queen, the Convergence, and the looming threat of total destruction taking center stage throughout the season. As the event began, players gathered near the Convergence, where the Cube Queen had been amassing power with the help of her army of cube monsters. The atmosphere was tense, with the sky darkened by swirling storm clouds and ominous music playing in the background. Players could feel that something monumental was about to happen. The Cube Queen herself floated above the Convergence, glowing with an overwhelming aura of energy as she prepared to unleash her final attack on the island. Soon the Queen opened, a massive portal in the sky from which an army of alien ships and cube monsters began to pour out. Players were tasked with defending the island alongside the Blue Cube, a benevolent counterpart to the menacing Purple Cube, which had emerged as a key ally in the fight against the Cube Queen. The battle was intense, with players firing at waves of enemies while the Cube Queen's forces continued to overwhelm the island. As the Cube Queen unleashed more of her power, it became clear that the island was on the verge of destruction. The scale of the event kept escalating, with players witnessing entire sections of the island being destroyed and alien ships raining down from the sky. The Queen's power seemed unstoppable, and it appeared that all hope was lost. Just as the island seemed doomed, a massive explosion occurred, shaking the entire landscape. The ground beneath players began to rumble, and the island itself started to tilt. In a shocking twist, players realized that the island was flipping over. The Cube Queen's plan had failed, but the cost was the destruction of the entire island as it was known. The visual of the island slowly rotating in the water was awe-inspiring, with players left floating in the ocean as they watched the once familiar landscape disappear beneath the waves. As the island flipped over, the Queen's portal closed and she was seemingly defeated. However, the event did not end with victory. Instead, players found themselves adrift at sea, floating among the debris of the destroyed island, watching the newly revealed Chapter 3 island on the horizon. This moment of calm after the chaos of the battle was eerie and left players feeling both excited and uncertain about what was to come. The event concluded with a final cinematic shot of players floating in the ocean, much like the infamous black hole from Chapter 1's The Ender event. Fortnite once again took its servers offline for a period, building anticipation for the launch of Chapter 3. Players were left staring at the ocean for hours, eagerly awaiting the new chapter and what changes it would bring. At the end of Chapter 2 was a fitting conclusion to the chapter's storyline, filled with high-stakes action, epic visuals, and a dramatic shift in the game's world. The flipping of the island was one of the most memorable and impactful moments in Fortnite history, and it marked the beginning of a new era for the game with Chapter 3's arrival.
All imagined order personnel to escape craft.
All imagined order personnel to escape craft.
Wake him up. You just had to be the hero, Jones. You know what happens to heroes?
They, live to fight another day?
Not this time. Do it.
No, don't do it, don't.
This isn't personal, Jones. Although I do plan to enjoy it. Would someone see what that is? Impossible. I watched you die.
I got over it.
You! You came back for me.
You promised me Jeno.
Well, love you too, buddy. Okay, so what's the plan? Great plan.
Shoot anyone who tries to stop me.
Tries to stop you from what?
Taking us to the other side.
What? Oh, I am keeping this.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
Could you maybe speed it up?
You want faster? Go.
How is this not helping?
Main console, gyro system, disable it.
On it! How do I do that?
Figure it out.
Figure it out, he said. Oh, got it. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
It's done. Initiate phase 2.
Looper spotted. That is our way in. Hold them off. All right, everyone, fall back. Area secured. See you on the other side. Everyone follow me to the bridge. We'll be safe there. It's fun to run for your life, huh? Great cardio. Let me get the door.
Warning. Rotation at 5 degrees.
Let's move, everyone. This is nuts!
Rotation at 15 degrees.
Don't worry, guys. I'll move the bus by myself. It's right up here, and I will give you a water break soon. Heads up! I know another way. Guys! What a day, am I right? Careful, edges are high.
Warning. Rotation at 30 degrees.
This is the epicenter of the island, you guys. We're safe here.
Warning. Rotation at 45 degrees.
That's the last one! We did it!
Where's my gun?
Okay, I may have dropped it in the 0 point.
Why does she make me keep saving you? Good, you made it. And you brought the loopers.
The surface is lost, but we should be safe here.
Warning. Rotation at 60 degrees.
You call this safe?
It'll hold. It's rated for 1,000 times atmospheric pressure.
Well, what about that?
Get ready to swim!
The collision event at the end of Chapter 3, Season 2 was a spectacle of epic proportions as players witnessed the return of the powerful mech known as the Mecha Strike Commander. This event was centered around a showdown between the Imagined Order EO and the Seven, two factions that had been at odds throughout the season. It promised to deliver on the massive build-up of the war between these two factions, with the fate of the island hanging in the balance. The event kicked off with players boarding the Mecha Strike Commander, an enormous robot designed to take on the EO's forces. The visuals were incredible right from the start, with the mech launching from its base on the moon and descending onto the island. This was the first time players had seen a live event that took them off the island itself, adding a new level of scale and excitement. Once the mech touched down on the island, the battle began in earnest. Players seated inside the mech controlled its weapons systems as they fought against IO tanks, blimps and fortresses that had been scattered across the island. The level of interaction was a step up from previous events as players were actively involved in the combat, taking down enemy targets and participating in real-time battles. As the fight raged on, it became clear that the IO had an ace up their sleeve. The Doomsday device, a massive weapon capable of destroying the island. A mech's mission was not only to defeat the EO's forces, but also to stop this weapon from being activated. Players had to work together using the mech's arsenal of missiles, lasers and other high-tech weapons to take down the EO's defenses and prevent the Doomsday device from triggering. At one point during the battle, the mech took heavy damage and it seemed like all hope was lost. However, the team managed to power the mech back up using a giant slurp juice container in one of the event's most humorous moments. The mech surged back to life, stronger than before, and the fight continued. The final showdown took place at the heart of the island where the Doomsday device was located. The mech launched a full-scale assault on the EOS final stronghold, with players blasting away at the device and IO forces. In a last-ditch effort, the mech delivered a powerful punch that shattered the Doomsday device, sending a massive shockwave across the island. With the IO defeated and their plans foiled, the island was saved once again. The event concluded with a victory for the Seven, but not without hints that the conflict was far from over. The collision event was not only visually spectacular, but also a turning point in the storyline, as it marked the fall of the IO and set the stage for future battles between the Seven and the remaining factions. The level of interaction in this event made it one of the most engaging Fortnite live events to date, and the scale of the battle, combined with the return of the beloved mech, made it a fan favourite. It also left players eagerly awaiting what would come next in the ongoing war for the island.
Weapon systems hot. Now clear us a path through those rocks.
Collision warning.
Prepare for evasive maneuvers. Here we go. Prepare for re-entry. I'm taking her down. Don't have much time to hit the collider. Clear a path. I'll get us there. Legend? I thought you were on the case.
Yeah, nothing we can't handle. Just as soon as we figure it out, we'll handle it. Yep, what he said.
Divert power to Heartbreaker. Perfect strike.
Threat eliminated. Airborne threat detected.
Take out those missiles. We're letting too many through.
Paradigm, come in. Do you copy?
Copy. Ugh, we're down. All systems damaged. We're not going anywhere without repairs.
Don't worry, I know a guy. It's your time to shine, buddy.
It's worth a shot. Divert power to emergency recovery system. I can't believe this is working. Really for the win. We are back online. The collider's charging up. We gotta move. Boots are the worst. Take them out.
We've eliminated the shields. The collider's exposed.
We're on our way. Light blade activated. I'll take out the blimps. You focus on the ground forces. All enemy forces have been eliminated. This is our chance. Divert power to blade strike.
Starfleet threat is detected.
Hold on! Eject! Eject! Eject!
Power loss detected. Fuel systems offline. Weapon systems offline.
Can you hear me?
Life support critical.
Anybody hurt? Come on, on your feet, let's go. I don't think Sloane's too happy we're here.
I see you, Jones.
And she has a tank, so we gotta go. Stay down and follow me. Incoming fire!
Can't hide from me forever, Jones.
Help me take out those guards.
The 0 point touches the crystals at the top of the collider. Everything ends.
The 0 point shifting realities. Keep your distance. Unless you want to go wherever that is.
Let's move.
No one leaves until all threats are eliminated. Take them out.
Incoming.
I got it. Hey! Over here!
just don't know when to quit. But I'm glad you're here. I finally get a chance to finish what I started.
Yes! Coming back online!
Copy that. Jones, buy us some time.
Wait. Hold your fire. Slow. You don't have to do this.
Always so dramatic. Any last words, Jones?
Look out.
I, thought you could use a hand.
Welcome back, Paradigm.
Who is that?
The 0 point is focused on Geno. This is our best chance to find him.
Let's go!
Alright, it's up to you now. We don't have much time. Those crystals will detonate the 0 point. Take them out. 0 point's almost to the top. Last one. That's it. We did it. Don't worry, I got you.
Fortnite's Big Bang Alive event, which took place on December 2, 2023, was a massive and memorable moment in the game's history, marking the end of Chapter 4 and introducing Chapter 5. The event was packed with epic moments, starting with the destruction of the OG Fortnite map, which was engulfed by the 0 point and disappeared into a black vortex similar to the events of previous chapters. During the event, players were transported into a multiverse and witnessed different galaxies and universes. This sequence was very cinematic and immersive. One of the main highlights of the event was the highly anticipated Eminem concert, where players experienced a live performance of his iconic tracks, including Lose Yourself, but combined with gameplay elements. In addition, the event introduced new game modes, including a LE Geo open world mode where players could explore as LE Geo characters, and a Rocket League-inspired rocket racing mode. Both modes offered a glimpse of the exciting content planned for the future. The event concluded with players being thrust into Chapter 5, setting the stage for new experiences and gameplay innovations. Fracture was the grand finale event of Chapter 3, Season 4, and one of Fortnite's most mysterious and lore-heavy events. It centered around the mysterious chrome that had been spreading across the island throughout the season, consuming everything in its path. This event promised to bring a dramatic conclusion to the chrome storyline, while also paving the way for Fortnite's next major chapter. The event began with players gathering in a central location on the island where the chrome had nearly overtaken everything. The atmosphere was eerie with the chrome glistening in the fading sunlight and a strange sense of foreboding hanging over the landscape. Players knew that whatever was about to happen, it was going to change the island forever. Suddenly the ground began to shake and massive fissures opened up, spreading across the island. The chrome had reached its tipping point and the island itself was starting to fracture under the pressure. Players were thrown into chaos as sections of the island began to break apart and float into the air, creating a surreal and unsettling visual experience. In the midst of the destruction, the Herald, the powerful villain introduced earlier in the season, emerged from the chrome. She unleashed her full power, further destabilizing the island and accelerating its breakdown. Players were forced to fight back against her forces in a desperate attempt to stop the island from being consumed by the chrome. As the battle raged on, it became clear that the island could not be saved. The chrome had done too much damage, and the island was breaking apart piece by piece. The visuals during this portion of the event were stunning, entire sections of the map disintegrating into the sky, leaving players floating in a void of shattered land masses. Just when it seemed like all hope was lost, a beacon of light appeared in the distance. The 0 point Fortnite's central energy source began to pulse with energy, drawing in the broken pieces of the island. Players watched in awe as the 0 point began to reassemble the island in a new form, pulling together the fragments of the fractured landscape. The event concluded with the island being reformed in a new configuration, hinting at the changes that would come with Chapter 4. However, the fate of the characters involved in the battle, including the Herald and the Seven, was left unclear, leaving players with more questions than answers. The Fracture event was one of Fortnite's most visually stunning and mysterious live events, combining elements of lore, gameplay, and narrative in a way that left players eagerly awaiting what would come next. It was a fitting end to Chapter 3, setting the stage for a new era in Fortnite's ongoing story.
I've done everything I can. This is your fight now.
The most recent Fortnite Live event, Absolute Doom, featured an epic battle against Dr. Doom, which took place on October 5, 2024 during Chapter 5, Season 4. This event was a global battle where Dr. Doom's health pool was shared across all active Fortnite matches, making it a community-driven challenge. Players worked together to chip away at his health, and over 5.6 million players participated in the battle. The battle against Dr. Doom was particularly intense, as he appeared in every match on the map armed with Pandora's box armor, making him more dangerous than ever. The event lasted over an hour, and Dr. Doom was eventually defeated, leaving behind only his iconic mask as he was sucked into a rift, teasing his possible return in future seasons. This event was part of an ongoing storyline in which Doctor Doom betrayed Megalodon in the previous season to forge his own path to power. Players who participated were rewarded with an impending Doom loading screen, and the event set the stage for future story developments in Fortnite.
Beacons is salvageable, but Shuri thinks that will be enough if we can significantly weaken Doom.